Yeah. They're right.
I appreciate Scott.
I can't hear anything.
Yeah, well, you unmuted the audio.
We'll be starting in just a minute. Were you able to hear me? Kirby Roots, am I pronouncing it right?
Yes,
Okay, we'll be starting in a minute. Can you hear me loud and clear?
yes.
Okay, the judge will be coming back on in just a second, so go ahead and mute your phone again, okay? Your camera, I'm sorry. Okay.
All right, good afternoon, everyone.
Got the motor.
Hold on 1 second. All right, we're ready to start. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm Judge Regina Mincy, and this is going to be our Fulton County State Court Expedited Accusations calendar. This is a calendar for cases in which individuals have recently been arrested and charged with certain misdemeanor offenses. Soon after their arrest, the Fulton County Solicitor General's office has already accused these cases of the offenses brought against them, and the case has been bound over to the Fulton County State Court. Nevertheless, this will usually be the defendant's initial appearance before a state court judge. So we are going to address several matters, including bond, possible arraignment, and a possible plea offer if one has been offered by the state at this juncture. What is our reset date, Ms. Bridgewater?
The reset date for the SAP calendar is going to be August the 24th.
Okay, for the C calendar. Because you used to saying SAP for this calendar is 24th, you said, of August?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, gotcha. All right. I'm going to begin by advising everyone that this whole entire proceeding is being recorded as well as live streamed on YouTube. So govern yourselves accordingly. I want to remind the defendants that you have certain constitutional rights. The first being that you have a right to representation, and all of you should know who your attorney is by now. And you also have a right to remain silent. Remember that anything that you state about the facts, the circumstances, or the occurrences of your case can and will be used against you. The solicitors are here and they're listening, so listen to your attorneys. Who do we have first, deputy? Apologize for being late. I'm doing double duty here.
You good, Your Honor.
Okay,
Position 8, Mr. Joyner, and we
all
also
right.
have his mother in the gallery.
All right, Ms. Holly, call that for me.
Yes, Your Honor. Position number 8 is Tyrone Joyner, case number 23CR004897F, charged with battery family violence.
All right, pre-trial.
Okay, this is the third arrest for this defendant. No felony convictions, a misdemeanor conviction for forgery, window tint, and possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Nothing
All right.
further, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Stay.
Your Honor, in this matter, the defendant and victim were having an argument, and the defendant placed a hot comb on the victim's leg, causing a burn. I'm told, my office was able to make contact with the victim. They're no longer in a relationship. At the time, they were in a relationship and living together. That's the basis of the family violence portion. The victim has had contact since this incident, but she would like no contact with the defendant and would like him to stay away from the residence. My victim's name is Miss Emily Huff. Judge, the incident location is 3005 Peachtree Road, Northeast. We'd be asking for a $4,000 surety bond, no further contact, and a stay away from the incident location.
Okay,
And I'd like to sound for my victim, Judge.
all right. The victim on the Joyner case on the call. Don't
Miss
think
Emily Huff.
Emily Huff. Emily Huff. All right. Go ahead. Who is on the defense side? Oh, I see. PD Sandflex.
That's correct, Judge.
Okay. How are you?
Yes, Judge. Mr. Joyner is 25 years old. As you heard, his mother is there in support of him. This is his first violent offense that he's been charged with and accused of. per the history that I heard read, he has no issues with not going back to that location. And so we are asking the court, because he is unemployed at this time. He's currently in school at Clayton County, is my understanding, pursuing an engineering degree. He's in his junior year with 2 semesters left. He's supposed to finish in 2024. We expect that he's going to be staying with some friends and family until he relocates to a different location outside of that 3005. We would be asking for a one-time police escort for him to be able to get his things. They have no children together, so there's no issues with no further contact. We are asking for a signature bond due to his financial circumstances this morning, Your Honor.
Okay. And you stated that he was a junior at Clayton State?
Clayton School, yes, Your Honor. Clayton State.
Okay.
Excuse me, Your Honor, before you give your ruling.
Yeah.
His mother wanted to speak on his behalf.
All right. I will allow it a little bit. I usually only allow the victims in the case, but I will give a little bit of leeway because it's not a long calendar today. But this is not his trial. He doesn't need necessarily a character witness for today, but I will let his mom speak briefly. All right, raise your right hand for me. Do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right. Yes, state your name, please.
My name is Keyshawn Lynette Kittle Joyner.
All right. And what is it that you would like to say to the court today?
Your Honor, my ex-husband and I had came down here. My son and Miss Emily have been in a relationship now for over a year, going back and forth. We tried to go down to the precinct yesterday to get an escort to retrieve his item from the house that she knew that we were coming to retrieve to take my son. And in doing so, we went down there to thinking that we were going to get an escort, and they contacted her. So she gets on the phone and she's like, well, he can't come down here and get his stuff because she had a warrant. So we didn't know he even had a warrant until we went to the precinct. We just trying to retrieve his dog and his items, and she knew he was coming. So I don't even know how, you know what I'm saying, this matter came in, but it's been an ongoing issue. So I say this to say we're here and I'm trying to get my son and get him cleared out of here.
Okay. And so he's a full-time college student, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, I do understand. And I thank you for that and for your time in coming down. What I'm going to do, if there's nothing else from either attorneys, is I'm going to order that $4,000 signature bond, but I'm going to order that signature bond through pretrial per the judge. And so that means there will be some monitoring, Mr. Joyner. I'm going to order no further contact with the victim, Emily Huff. I'm going to order a stay away from the incident location, that 3005, and I didn't write the street address down. I'm gonna also
Peachtree Road.
Peachtree Road,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. And I'm going to order that you stay away from there. But I will order a one-time police escort, and you can get that escort coordinated when you get out. And but do not go back there without the police escort. Sometimes it may take a few days to get it scheduled, but you've got to do that. But I will allow that one-time escort to go back. And I'm going to add in there, you're to get your personal items, and also there's a dog that you need to get. Okay, so I will add that he can get his dog as well. A vehicle or anything?
Oh, no, man.
Okay, all right. And I'm going to order no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons or guns while on bond. And there is a one-day anger awareness course that I would like you to take through pretrial. It is free to you.
I was supposed to be going to Texas with my mother.
Texas for what?
To live with my mother.
Oh, your mother doesn't live in Georgia? I didn't ask.
No.
You can just say this.
I'm a service number station in Fort Worth, Texas. I reside in El Paso.
Oh, okay. Well, you will be on bond. And generally, you're not to leave the state. You can report to pretrial by phone, but pretrial. Can you get back on, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right. I don't know what your requirements or rules are about a defendant who does not reside in the state. I don't know if this is a permanent move or just a temporary move.
Your Honor, I'm confused how he attends Clayton State full-time if he's gonna go live in Texas.
Well, a lot of the courses are still online from COVID, but that is a good question too. I'd like to know that as well.
Online classes, sir.
I didn't hear you.
They're online classes now.
You're taking online classes. Are you enrolled this semester?
No.
I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I see Ms. Jordan and Ms. Hardy. Who can answer those questions for me, Ms. Jordan? I don't want to get myself in trouble.
No problem, Judge. You can put it on the bond order that he can reside in Texas. He needs to have an address there
Mm-hmm.
so that they can contact him when needed.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as it's in the bond order, then we'll be okay.
Okay.
I put it in it.
Okay.
Okay. All
Thank
right.
you.
And we would need your mother's address. I don't know
Phone
if
number.
they want to put it in the chat.
I have 14210 SABLED Point Avenue, El Paso, Texas,
Oh, we already have it.
79938.
Okay.
It's F instead of a S, ma'am. I'm sorry. It's Fable.
What
Correct,
did you say, Mr. Joyner?
It's a F instead of the S, ma'am.
Oh, it's okay. So it's Fabled Point Avenue.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right. So, Mr. Joyner, I'm doing this based on the fact that you have support from your family, but also that you're going to return to your court dates and you're not going to fail to appear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm going to give you that opportunity and they can speak to you about the anger awareness course and how you need to take that. Will he be able to do that, Ms. Joyner, as well, Jordan as well?
I'm not sure about the anger management. I'm not sure if they are virtual
Because
still.
most of those are in person.
I believe they might be, but when he checks in with them, they can let him know.
And
And
if
it'll
Go
be
ahead.
on the bond order, so they'll make some kind of arrangements.
right, and if you can't take the one through pretrial of Georgia, you need to find an equivalent course in Texas and make sure that you take a anger management course. All right. All right. Anything else, counsel?
Nothing else, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.
Position 1
Okay.
is activated.
All right. This is 23 CR 0048888A. I'm not for sure how to pronounce the first name. Is the last name activated or Hika?
Hecka activated.
Heka activated, charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, pretrial.
This is the second arrest for this defendant. There is a misdemeanor conviction for obstruction in 2023 that was null pros. Nothing further to report.
All right, state.
Your Honor, the accused refused to leave Atlantic Station for 45 minutes after being requested to by staff. She is currently assigned a $600 surety bond. Your Honor, our recommendation would be to make that $600 bond a signature bond. We'd add a stay away from the incident address, which is Atlantic Station, 383 17th Street Northwest, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
Okay. PD St. Plex?
Yes, Your Honor, we have no objection to the signature bond. We would just ask that it's through the jail. She is residentially challenged right now and doesn't have a vehicle. She did ask me to inform the court that she was sitting on a city bench and that she does she has a spiritual project that she does in that Atlantic Station area. And so I did inform her that it would be up to the court as to whether or not she could return to that area. She's been living in Georgia since 1996. She does have 2 children here that are 29 and 24. And it's my understanding she also has a medical condition that would not make her a good fit to be at the jail.
All right, I am going to order that there be a $1,000 signature bond through the jail. I'm gonna make it $1,000. So that if there's an FTA, it'll be a $1,000 bond. I'm going to order a stay away. I understand she may have a project going on, but obviously there's a problem or an issue. So right now, until we can sort it out or till the case is over, it's activated. You're to stay away from the Atlantic Station on 17th Street. And I think it encompasses many other streets, but I just don't want you to go to that area. You're gonna have to find another area for your spiritual project right now, because obviously they don't want you there. So if you can do that, I will let you out on a signature bond through the jail. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I think that's it for the stay away. All right.
Thank you.
Position 5, Ms. Dillard.
Okay.
I put in the chat that Ms. Dillard needs a breakout room.
Break out. Sit down.
I just put it in there.
Okay.
Dickerson. Position 4, Mr. Dickerson.
Okay. 23 CR 004892E. Eddie Dickerson, charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, offense date 8/9/2023, pretrial.
14th arrest for this defendant. Last arrest appears to be on April 7th, 2023 for criminal trespass and marijuana possession less than an ounce by Marta. Defendant does appear to have an open case pending in Fulton for criminal trespass and possession of marijuana less than an ounce. That case number is 23 CR 002132E. The defendant also appears to be on probation out of Fulton for willful obstruction, 2 counts and battery. That case number is 23 CR 000970E. Looks like 12-month term. The disposition date on that was March 2nd, 2023. A 2017 simple battery conviction, 2017 simple assault, 2017 robbery, 2 counts, 2 counts of obstruction. Nothing further to add, Your Honor.
All right. State.
Your Honor, I would just add, I also showed 2 open cycles out of Louisiana. One is a simple battery and one is battery family violence. Judge, in this matter, the defendant was found smoking marijuana in a MARTA station. He has an active permanent MARTA ban that was initiated in February of this year. So we're asking for a $1,000 surety bond. Stay away from all MARTA locations, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
All right.
Yes, Judge. Mr. Dickerson has been living in Georgia, according to my conversation with him, since 2015. He does have an address that he gave me that he is able to go to, 2125 Point View Drive, Apartment H, East Point, Georgia, 30344. He does have family here. He has no issue, according to my conversation, about not going back to that station. He said that he plans on getting a bike and being able to travel around on that bike. He does have some college education in business management, but he is currently unemployed. Well, I'm sorry, he is employed. He is a cook at Yard House Atlantic Station and also a cook at a different job. He does not make much money, so we would just ask the court to allow him to get a signature bond. He does have that probation violation, so even with the bond being a signature bond, he would not be released immediately because he would still have to stay and deal with that probation violation. So we are asking the court to take that into consideration and to allow him to have a signature bond for this charge.
I'm concerned about the history, whether he will return to court. I'm going to order that $1,000 surety bond. I'm going to order stay away from all MARTA, not just that station. I think he already has a ban. So stay away from all MARTA. I'm going to order
Rhonda,
no
just to be clear, is the ban from all martyrs or just that one martyr?
I think the state was asking for all MARTA. Is that correct?
Your Honor, my understanding from the report, which it is, I will, in full candor, it's not particularly clear. My understanding is that it is a permanent ban from all MARTA locations. In either case, the state would ask for a stay away order from all MARTA locations, at least for the duration of bond.
Okay. It is, and if he says he's getting a bicycle, that's what he's gonna need to do, or take Ubers and Lyfts and other ride shares. So right now, there is a stay away from all MARTA, bus and rail right now. Because you don't get the privilege of using it if you can't follow the rules. And so he'll have to find other ways of other means of transportation. So I will say that it is right now, stay away during this bond from all MARTA. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I think that's all I need to do. Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
Position 2, Mr. Brock.
I received an email that Mr. Brock's case was dismissed.
I have it as well, Judge.
That's
Oh,
correct,
no
Judge. I
problem.
sent that late.
Yes, it has been null pros and I have it in my possession now.
Great.
All right.
And Mr. Brock's sister, under S. Taylor, you and his mom can be excused. His case is dismissed.
Okay.
Sorry, Your Honor. Position 6, Mr. Gavin.
This is 23 CR 004898J. Mr. Galvin, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, 2nd count of possession and use of drug-related objects, pretrial.
This is the second arrest for this defendant. Last arrest was September the 4th, 2022 in Woodstock for DUI. Nothing further.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident was alleged to have occurred on August 9th of 2023 at 1105 Holcomb Bridge Road in Roswell. That's a Chevron station. The officer in question entered the Chevron station. He knew the defendant, and it was known to the defendant that he had a criminal trespass against that station. Against Chevron that was issued to him on 5/7 of 2023. The officer then arrested the defendant, and the defendant was carrying bags that were searched incident to arrest. It was discovered that he had 5.3 grams of cannabis, a glass pipe used with illegal drugs, was also located in his bag. At this time, my office is announcing an NOD on the possession of cannabis. That's count number 2. And we're proceeding forward with count number 1 and count number 3. Given his minor history, as well as the NOD on the possession of cannabis, we're only asking for a $2,000 signature bond for pretrial services, $1,000 for each count. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and to stay away from the address that was previously mentioned. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. PD Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, we have no objection, except that we would like you to consider a signature bond through jail. He is only 23 years old, Your Honor, and he is gainfully employed and he completed GED. He did not complete GED, but he's trying to finish up GED because that's what he's trying to do. He's qualified for public defender services, and we would like to request for signature on bond through jail. Thank you.
And so he's working.
Oh, I apologize. He is not working.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I made a
Okay.
mistake. Sorry.
Okay. I will order the $2,000 signature bond through the jail. I will order stay away from the incident location. No drugs, alcohol, weapons or guns while on bond. And that breakdown is 1,000 on each of the charges, Ms. Bridgewater. And I guess that's it. Anything else?
Not
Nothing
from
to
this
this
time.
time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Position 9, Mr. Mason.
Okay. This is 23 CR 0048889F. Jermaine Mason, charged with 1 count of battery family violence. Pre-trial.
This is the 5th arrest for this defendant. Last arrest was March 13th, 2018, out of Forsyth County for battery domestic violence. A 2007 unlawful possession of a weapon conviction. Nothing further to add, Your Honor.
Okay. State?
Yes, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Oh, I'm sorry. ASG, pronounce your last name for me?
Tularian.
Delirian. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. May I proceed?
Yes.
Thank you. This incident was alleged to have occurred on August 9th of 2023 at 4600 Roswell Road in Atlanta. The officers responded to the aforementioned address and met with the victim, Cherie Hughes, SHIREEHUGHES. She advised the parties were in a verbal dispute. She advised that the defendant threw a vase in her direction, which broke and caused a visible laceration. The two parties are in a dating relationship and live together. This defendant actually has a prior family violence conviction for battery from 2018. We did ask our district attorney's office to upgrade it. However, it was declined as I think they have an issue with this case being a battery since the vase itself didn't hit her, the piece that broke off hit her. So they didn't upgrade the charge. But this case will likely end up ultimately getting upgraded if our office is able to move it up. We spoke with the victim who advised that the parties share no children. She confirmed the events on the warrant, but she also stated that she had a candle holder in her hand and they were both slamming things on the counter. She stated that she is unsure now at this time how she received the injury to her finger. She stated that she only called the police because the defendant had her keys and she wanted her keys back. She wants contact with the defendant. She stated that she plans to leave the residence this weekend and she will be on Zoom. We're asking also that the defendant has prior violent convictions. He has a simple battery from 2018, a kidnapping in the first, a domestic assault, endangering child welfare, and unlawful use of a weapon, prior charges. We're asking for a $5,000 surety. I'm aware of the victim's wishes, but we're still asking for no further contact, 1-day anger awareness, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, and to stay away from the address. And we're asking that the court sound for the victim at this time. Thank you.
All right. And Ms. Hughes, their victim on here by the name of Miss Hughes. All right, we'll go forward.
This is my,
D. Kim, got you.
yes, yes. My client, Mr. Mason, is 47 years old, and Your Honor, he was born in Missouri. However, he moved to Georgia about 3 years.
I'm
Yes?
sorry. This is Miss Hughes. I'm sorry.
All right, Ms. Hughes, if
I
you
don't-
wish to address the court, I have to see you. You have to turn on your camera.
Okay, 1 second. I'm learning how to do this. Get in the car. Get in the car. Okay, I'm here.
All right, Ms. Hughes, do you wish to,
I'm sorry.
Ms. Hughes, do you wish to address the court? Are you able to address the court?
Yes. My intentions was to
Hold on a
never-
second. Hold on a second. I need to swear you in first. Raise your right hand. Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you in a place where you can talk with, I mean, I think, sounds like your
Yes,
children around you.
I'm outside. I just picked my boys up off the school bus.
Okay. All
But,
right, go ahead with what you would like to state to the court.
Yeah, like she was just saying, we both were slamming things on the counter. So all I know that I was cut. So, and Jermaine had my keys. So I never intention to get him locked up. I just wanted the cops to walk me back to the apartment to get my keys.
Okay. Well, this is not your trial. That's something you can say for later. Right now, I want to know, are you in fear of Mr. Mason?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And do you want to have contact with Mr. Mason?
Yes, ma'am.
You all reside together?
Yes, but I'm in the process of moving.
Okay. And then you have children together?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Any cross-examination from the state or from the PD?
Not from the state, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, PD Kim.
Yes.
Thank you. Miss Hughes, you can mute yourself.
Okay, thanks.
Mhm. Go ahead, PD Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. So he is 47 years old. Your Honor, he is currently self-employed, owning a cleaning company. He's been doing that for the last 2 years. And Your Honor, we would like to request for signature on bond. And yet we do understand that there was a previous domestic violence. So I think $2,000 good bond would be reasonable. And we would like to request for no further violent contact since both parties want to have contact. Thank you.
All right. And let me ask again, what was the state's recommendation for bond?
We were asking for a $5,000 surety.
Given that this matter just happened, I don't know that there's been the ample cooling down period yet. I don't even think it's been 24 hours quite yet. I'm going to order for the safety of the victim and that there be a stay away from the incident location for the defendant. Since they don't have any kids together, I'm not for sure why there needs to be contact right now. And the attorney or the defendant can file a bond modification later. I'm going to order no further contact with the victim, Ms. Hughes. I'm going to order a $3,000 surety bond. I'm going to order no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. And I believe that's all I'm going to order at this time.
Your Honor, since my client's complaining witness, Ms. Hughes, she expressed that she was going to move out. Can my client return to the premises after she leaves, since this is his place?
Okay, what I usually do is I order the one-time law enforcement escort back to the property.
Yes.
And he may want to wait a couple of days, give her time by this weekend, first of next week, to get that arranged for that escort anyway. And if they determine that her items are gone and there are no personal items there belonging to Miss Hughes, then Mr. Mason can stay at the property.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. That should conclude this matter, I believe.
Position 10, Mr. Nava.
Okay. This is 23 CR 004900A. Mr. Nava is charged with one count of harassing communications. Pre-trial?
This is the first arrest for this defendant.
All
Your
right.
Honor, good afternoon. I'm sorry to interrupt. This is the
Oh.
Spanish interpreter. I believe I'm
Uh-oh.
summoned for this case.
We didn't mean to leave you out. I'm sorry.
No worries.
All right, raise your right hand for me. Madam Interpreter, do you affirm that you will, and I should have asked, and I think I know the answer is Spanish, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you affirm that you will faithfully interpret from Spanish to English and English to Spanish the proceedings before the court today in an accurate manner with the best of your skill and knowledge and with no embellishments?
I do.
All right, thank you. All right, I'll start over. Mr. Nava is charged with one count of harassing communications.
El señor Nava está acusado.
Your Honor, I apologize. Only reason that we asked for a translator was my client speaks fluent English, but his mother, who has to be a co-signer, does not speak English. So that was the only reason.
Oh, so the defendant is fine with English, it's just his mother.
Yes.
Well, so she still needs to interpret. Where's his mom?
I believe his mom was going to join us.
You'd like me to call out for her?
Yes.
Miss Kim, do you know her name? May I have her
Yes.
name?
Yes. Her name is Horalia Orozco, O-R-O-Z as a zebra, C-O.
And the first name again?
H-O-R-A-L-I-A.
H-O-R-A-L-I-N.
A as a apple.
Okay, got it. Damas y caballeros, si me puede escuchar, la señora Oralán Orozco, si se encuentra en la llamada, por favor, prenda su pantalla. La señora Oralán Orozco, si se encuentra en la llamada, por favor, prenda su pantalla y diga algo.
Nope. Okay, we'll keep going forward. Stay.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident was alleged to have occurred on July 26th to July 29th of 2023. The victim, who was at 12,000 Old Mountain Parkway in Roswell, Brian Thompson, BrianThompson, began receiving messages through Facebook and comments on personal posts by the defendant on 7/26/23. The victim advised him that same day he wanted all communication to cease. Since then, the victim has received multiple messages harassing him, rating him, and calling him the N-word. The defendant stated to him, "You effed up now, it's my turn," which came after he was already issued a criminal trespass warning from the victim's residence. The end of the messages stated, your curse word, another curse word is all talk. You ain't never gonna touch me because you know I would F your another curse word up. The victim stated that he felt harassed and tormented by the defendant's continued communication. After asking him to cease all communication, he stated that he is frightened the defendant will escalate his behavior and is fearful he will come to his property to damage his residence or cars outside. He thinks that the intimidation is because he's in a relationship, the defendant is in a relationship with his juvenile daughter, and the defendant was advised that he couldn't see the daughter any longer. It is of note that this defendant has numerous sexual related cases pertaining to this victim's child, including a case for sexual intercourse with a minor, employing a minor to engage in performing sexual explicit contact for a visual medium, electronic furnishing, obscene material to minors, obscene telephone contact with the minor, enticing a child for indecent purposes, aggravated child molestation.
Objection, Your Honor,
Objection.
we would ask the waiving of the sounding of those types of charges in an open live hearing, or
Yes,
that
Your
we
Honor.
go into a breakout room for the prosecution to mention that.
And Your Honor, my client is innocent, presumed to be innocent. I don't think it is appropriate for those charges to be brought up.
Okay, I understand.
Very prejudicial.
This is the first arrest in Georgia or first adult arrest? From what pretrial gathered?
First, adult arrest. He's only 18 years old. He just became 18.
Just turned 18.
Yes, Your Honor.
And
Well,
so
his
that means all the
juvenile record
charges-
is right. His juvenile record is able to be disclosed, but when we have some of the other sensitive type charges, we do like to only sound those in a breakout
Your
for
Honor,
the safety of the defendant.
Your Honor, I understand cutting off the live stream and the YouTube, but I don't think there's any actual basis for the objection. Those are charges that have been laid against him. I'm not even going into any of the factual basis, which I still don't think would give rise to an actual objection. These are the charges that are against him. I'm sure whoever wanted to look up his charges could easily find these charges the same way they could find the charges that are present before this court. I was pretty much done, but the court has already heard that there's numerous charges against this defendant for these offenses stemming from the relationship he had with the minor child. And so I don't really have anything else to say about that. And so
Your
I don't
Honor.
think
Okay, then let
that
me
there's-
ask you this. What are the charges before the court today? Because I only have one count of harassing communication.
Yes, I think
yes,
that's the only one that we should be talking about, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I would just ask that I be given a chance to finish the portion that I wanted to finish before the public defenders. It seems that there's two public defenders before they both have a chance to speak, because I haven't finished going over the recitation of the facts and or my bond recommendation. And I would just ask to be able to finish before both the PDs have a chance to speak. I also filed down, I'm not sure if Your Honor has received it. I filed it an amended charge for stalking. I'm not sure if it was received by the court in time, but I did add stalking to this case. So I'm not sure if the court has that.
We do not.
I
Hold on
have
one
not
second.
received anything.
Yeah, hold on one second. Ms. Bridgewater. Can you get Mr. Jordan to check to see if the file down, if that charge came through? Did you just do it today, this morning?
Yes, Your Honor. It was after the initial filing. I'm not sure if the clerk may be able to assist with pulling the charge down, but it was filed, I think, around 11:30 or so.
Okay, and that's why I was getting Mr. Jordan, the supervisor in the clerk's office, because he can usually check or to see.
Did he respond, Judge?
No, he didn't. I don't know if he's listening or not.
May not be, because he's real busy running around.
He is, okay. When he comes back around, see if get a message to him to check on that for position 10 to see if the additional charge has come through, if it was filed down properly.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. And
ASG Walker.
I'm gonna step away and go in his office to see if I see him and ask him.
Okay, thank you. ASG Walker.
One moment up. He stated that he's away right now. I'm not sure if he's able to
Oh,
get on.
okay, he's away. Okay.
I can go through the other portion as far as what the victim stated in my bond recommendation while we're waiting for the clerk, if you'd like.
All right, yes, go ahead.
Okay, yes, Your Honor. We were able to speak with the victim. He advised that he does not approve the relationship between the two parties, the defendant and his daughter, and that he observed the defendant in his home, and that's how the criminal trespass ensued. He stated that after the defendant sent the harassing messages, he stated that the messages continued after he had the trespass, and that he basically advised of the charges that were pending regarding his daughter, and that he doesn't want to have any contact with him or his daughter and wants to stay away, and that he will be on the Zoom. I think I saw the victim stating that he couldn't hear. I'm not sure if there's an issue with his sound or what exactly is going on with respect to that, but I do see him on the Zoom right now. I believe that's him. I just think he was having some issues with respect to hearing. The state is asking for a $10,000 surety. And we're asking for no further contact, 1 day anger awareness, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and to stay away from the address. And specifically with the no further contact, we're asking for no further contact with Mr. Thompson, as well as his daughter. And I'll just give the initials ST, as well as the victim in this case, if that's possible with the court. Thank you.
So the victim is the minor SP?
No, Your Honor, that is the victim for she's not listed as the victim in this case. Just she's basically the reason for this case coming about, and why there's a trespass and all of those things. And so I was asking if the no further contact can include Mr. Thompson as well as his daughter, ST. And I was advised by Mr. Walker that if the case was filed on after the cutoff, they need to pull the cheat charge down. I'm not sure exactly the charge down. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but that's what he just advised me.
Okay, excuse me. I was told those charges that you tried to file down went to felony.
The stalking?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not sure about that because previously I was advised they were going to stay in misdemeanor. So I'm not sure if that happened and I wasn't advised. But if you don't see them, then that's fine. But we are asking for a $10,000 surety on the harassing communications charge.
This
All right.
is Brian Thompson. I can
Yes.
hear you now.
Okay. All right,
I'm
Mr.
sorry.
Thompson. Mr. Thompson,
Yes, ma'am.
do you wish to address the court today?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, raise your right hand. Now I'm going to warn you before, this is not the trial. This is just a bond hearing. And I'm trying to make sure who the victims are in this case, as opposed to other related parties. But I'll hear from you, but I might have to cut you off if I determine that you're not. Do you affirm that testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. And so is it is it your mother or whose mother is on that needs the interpreter? Anyone?
My client's mother, Your Honor, Mr. Nava.
Mr. Nava's mother. Okay.
Yes.
Your Honor,
right.
I apologize for the
Your Honor,
interruption.
my
Would you
client.
like me to sound off for that person again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
La señora Oralán Orozco, si se encuentra en la llamada, por favor, prenda su cámara y su micrófono.
Okay. I don't think we have anyone on needing the services at this point. What would you like to state, Mr. Thompson?
Your
Yes,
Honor, I
ma'am,
would
I
like to go
was-
first, Your Honor, because I think it is very important that I go first here to make sure that my client is not facing the prejudicial communication from him or anybody else, even ASG. All those charges, he is presumed to be innocent, did not have to be addressed here Your Honor, my client is only 18 years old, and they were in relationship for last 2 years. They had dating relationship officially 1 year. He was always fine. He's been there for a long time. I just don't understand how this happened. It is my client who was victim, Your Honor. My client says he has the proof of Mr. Brian Thompson bringing a knife to threaten him, bringing a gun to put into his head. Your Honor, my client was scared, frightened, terrified, extorted, and just he was under duress for anything and everything that has happened. Your Honor, this is, I felt so compassionately sad for my client because what he had to go through because of his relationship with his daughter was just terrible, Your Honor. We would like to request for signature on bond for this particular matter. His daughter is not listed as a victim in this warrant at all. So I don't think we have to worry about not having any contact. It will be reported to the felony court, and the fact they can actually handle that part. I don't think we should be handling about that since it is not accused here. So my client needs to have a no further contact from Mr. Brian Thompson. Absolutely not. And we are very, very fine with the stay away as well. And his mother is willing to co-sign, and he is a senior in high school. He did not even graduate yet. He is a very good student. He's got a very high GPA. He's getting always A and B, and he is also playing at orchestra. He's a good high school student. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Thompson.
Okay, yes, ma'am. I disagree with everything almost she said. They was
Your
in a
Honor, I
relationship.
would like to address that he only talks about whether he wants to have a contact or not, whether he's afraid of not, because everything else, it would be.
Well, I believe, Mr.
prejudicial.
Thompson, are you speaking on behalf of your minor daughter, SP? Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, well, since he's the father of a minor who is the victim in the case, I'm going to allow a little leeway for him to speak. Go ahead, Mr. Thompson. But I'm not going to get
Thank
too
you.
much into the details or the facts of the case, okay?
Yes, ma'am. That is
Okay.
That's fine. He has threatened me. The incident in mind, he was in my house, in my daughter's closet, hiding there the whole time with no one knowing his presence other than my daughter. He knew that he wasn't supposed to be there. He is also relating to the fact of a gun to his head. That is incorrect. I did have to pull a weapon on him to make sure that there was no harm come to my family. It was inside my house. When the police got there, there was no charges filed against me. They said I'd done the right thing by protecting my family. He later texted me telling me that I didn't have the lack of a
Your Honor,
proper term,
this is all
cojones.
about the facts,
Just
Your
a
Honor.
little. Hold on, PD Kim. Mr. Thompson,
So-
you're going too much into the facts for me. I just need to know, is your daughter and are you, both of
Hold
you,
on,
in
Your Honor, I
fear?
have to object because the defense
Nava.
actually opened the door to that. She's the one who mentioned that he put a gun to the head of the defendant allegedly. So the fact that she could put it out there, but he can't respond is improper in my view. And he's the victim in this case, and he should be able to testify at this bond hearing freely and advise the court of anything that he feels is relevant.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, Mr. Thompson.
So as I was saying, after that fact, he had texted me telling me I didn't have the cojones to pull the trigger. I'm in fear for the safety of my daughter and family. I've had to get the police involved multiple times over this incident and more incidences. There is other charges, felony and
I don't
misdemeanors
think we
coming
should
down
be
the road.
talking about that. We already
Okay.
laid a ground that
PD
we did not
Kim.
have to go there.
PD Kim,
The school is also aware of this, and they are ready to make action as soon as the paperwork hits the school by Monday morning. I've already talked to the people at the school in Fulton County. They are
Okay.
prepared to take action against it with this paperwork. I am also very concerned that if he is allowed bond, that he will do something malicious to my home and family. He was on probation, according to witnesses that I've talked to. He was on probation prior to this. These charges, as far as the officer told me, would be felony, not misdemeanor. And there's more charges to come.
Okay. And so you
He's also,
go ahead.
he also had threatened me as far as I messed up and calling me the N-word, and was threatening my life that way as well, telling me he was coming for me.
All right. And I'm assuming, and I don't have to assume much, you and your daughter don't want any further contact or him around. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, that is very correct. Nor our home or anywhere close. If I went to a Target and saw him, we would leave immediately.
Right. And he would also, if he were on bond, he would have that duty as well. And we'll make sure that we put a lot of conditions on it, since you all obviously live in the same area or neighborhood, right?
Yes, ma'am, it is not too far away. He also had dropped a phone off for my daughter, trying to get contact with her as well. So I know that he is not afraid to come by my house late at night and so forth. I've lost a lot of sleep staying up in nights trying to make sure that my mother and my daughter is protected. It is only us three at that house. So it is my job to protect that house and my home and family.
Right.
I am very concerned that if he gets bail, that he will retaliate over this. I've got evidence going to the detectives and police as well. They can back all this stuff up.
Okay. And your mother resides there as well?
Resides there as well. She is elderly lady. She has some health conditions. This has really put a strain on her health. She was up at 4 o'clock this morning because she couldn't sleep. So this is really affecting her health, my life, my child's life. And I don't know all his past, but from what I've seen, it does have a great concern for my family.
Right. All right. Any cross-examination by the state or by the PD?
No, not at this time, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to grant the $10,000 surety bond. And I almost was going to make it cash. I tell you what, because of the gravity of what I've heard, I'm going to increase it to a $20,000 surety bond. And with that $20,000 surety bond, I'm going to order an absolute stay away from the home of the victim and her family. And I'm going to make sure, Ms. Bridgewater, that we check all the boxes and conditions on the bond form. He's to, if he makes bond, is to not contact directly or indirectly the victim and the victim's family. So make sure that we put her father and her grandmother or any other relatives of the victim. And it also states their family members anyway, in any manner by phone, mail, email, pager, any writing, sign, notes, or messages. And of course, it says if the defendant encounters any of the victims, the defendant must immediately leave the area and remain at least 200 yards away from the victim. I'm not too sure about the school setting. I'm concerned about that if your daughter goes back to school. And if he makes his bond, that, she would
Your
not.
Honor,
Go ahead.
Your Honor, I have been in touch with the counselor at the school and also a lead official at the school. As soon as this paperwork is turned into them, they are going to take it to their superiors and make sure that he either is at an alternative learning center, but he will not be at the same school as her, is my understanding.
Okay. And so, he will have, which you will get a copy of this bond order, a condition to be 200 yards away from your daughter, obviously, so he could not go to school there anyway, while this bond is out there. And again, I'm going to order a stay away from your home. And we won't put the address out there. We'll make sure that Ms. Bridgewater gets your address. So he's got to definitely stay away from your home.
Address that's in the warrant, Your Honor.
I'm sorry.
His address, the address that's in the warrant, because I have that address.
Is that
Mountain Park Road.
Is that your address, Mr. Thompson? Is that your street?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. That is my street.
Okay.
Okay.
And also, I'm going to order no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons or guns while on bond if Mr. Nava makes bond. And did he just turn 18? He's going to need a cosigner, it sounds like.
Yes, Your Honor. That's why I called his mother, who is willing to co-sign for him, and his mother does not speak any English. So I spoke to her. I was hoping that she would be here. And Your Honor, $20,000 surety bond is extremely high for my client who is still in high school, who cannot work. I mean, it's just really, he has all the other big fishes as well. There's felony court that will deal with this. This is misdemeanor, Your Honor.
I understand it's a misdemeanor, but it's a pretty serious one, and the factual circumstances surrounding the misdemeanor are very alarming to me. I understand he's 18 and he could be a senior or junior in high school, but when he's being told to leave someone alone and he doesn't, then he needs to understand there's rules and regulations and laws that he must follow. And I want to make sure he understands that. So also, I was going to put something else in there with the school, but it seems like the school is on board. And I just want to make sure that this victim and her family are protected under all cost and in all manners, because it's just, he's got to learn that no means no.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you all.
Your Honor.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm going to text PD Kim my telephone number. If PD Kim needs my services to contact the mother of the defendant, please go ahead and reach out to me. And Your Honor, would that be all from me?
I think it is. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
You're welcome. You have a good day.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hush. Position 11, Mr. Rooks.
This is supposed to be in a breakout or not?
Nope.
I am trying to get off now, Your Honor.
Oh, that's fine.
I believe this one does need to be in a breakout.
Okay. I know we had 2. We had 11 and 3. Is that right?
And 7, Your Honor.
Oh, and 7?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Oh, I see.
No,
So maybe we could do the breakouts last, if you don't mind, Deputy.
I thought it was 5. Miss Dillard, Jackson.
Does 5 need to be in a breakout? I didn't see.
Ms. Dillard's position 3.
3.
I have Daniel as
No.
position 3.
No, Daniel Tavares is 3. Give me the names of who needs to be in a breakout.
It is Dillard, position 5, Your Honor. That's who I understand the PD was requesting for, and that makes sense to me.
That's correct. I put his position number wrong. Mr. Daniel, I emailed the waiver of presence. He waived his presence for court.
Oh, that's a waiver. Okay. And then 11 is still a breakout.
Yes, Your Honor, I need to be in that breakout room whenever we do go in for 11. Please.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right.
We'll do, position 12.
All right, good. This is 23 CR 004890F. Christopher Santillan. Charge of 1 count of reckless driving. Retrial.
This is the 4th arrest for this defendant. Last arrest was 7/3/2013 in Fayette County for DUI. There's a 2010 possession of marijuana misdemeanor charge, a 2010 possession of alcohol below the legal age. Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. State.
Yes, Your Honor, this incident was alleged to have occurred on August 9th of 2023 at the location of approximately 741 Carter Street, Northwest in Atlanta. The victim in this case complained that the defendant was driving around with her on the hood of the vehicle. The victim in this case is Meredith, Meredith, Joy, Joy. We tried to make contact with the victim. The number we had for her was actually a number for her father, who advised that she doesn't have a phone, and we were unable to contact her. We would ask for a $3,000 surety bond, no further contact with the victim, 1-day anger awareness. Oh, I apologize. My victim advocate actually just messaged me and advised me that after she sent that message, she was able to make contact with the victim and that she should be on Zoom. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and to stay away from the address. And we asked the court sound for the victim. Thank you.
All right. Is Meredith Joy on the line?
And I apologize. It looks like her last name is actually Follett, Follett. Thank you.
Follett.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is it Follett? Meredith, is anyone connected with the case with Christopher Santillan? All right, don't think your victim, don't think she's on. Don't see anybody that kind of matches that name. Well, I do. I see an M Follett down there.
I see that as
Bottom.
well.
Miss Follett. She may be trying to unmute herself. Miss Follett. All right, we'll start and see if we get interrupted if she comes back or is able to get on. PD Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is actually Mr. Santillan he was born in 1990. Oh, oops, sorry. I have to get back to my notes. Okay. He was born in 1991, Your Honor, and he is gainfully employed. They have been living together for the last 19 months, and my client is working at Atlanta Braves as a cook. He also successfully completed his GED, and I don't think he is, Miss Follett is right here, and I don't think that she wants to prosecute the case anymore. We would like to request for signature on bond. Indeed, he is recommended for UJR signature on bond. So I think it is appropriate for him to do that. He did not have any violence event or criminal histories, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, I do see Miss Follett coming on. Miss Follett, hello? Would you like to address the court today? Ms. Follett, would you like to address the court today?
Your Honor, while she's figuring that out, I do see the updated email from my victim advocate, if you'd allow me to. Okay, thank you. She advised my office that the parties are in a relationship and she is trying to relieve the relationship. She advised that they have one minor child together. She stated that the defendant was supposed to stay home with their child while she goes to work, but the defendant was trying to leave. She stated that she stood in front of the hood of the car to prevent him from trying to leave, and the defendant thereafter drove and hit the hit the victim, which caused her to be on the hood. She stated the defendant kept driving and she had to jump off the car. The victim advised that she sustained some bruising to her leg. She stated that she is in fear of the defendant and is planning to leave the residence. She stated that she wants no contact with him and is okay with third-party transfer of the child. Honestly, in light of this information, which I'm just now seeing, and I apologize for seeing it so late, it looks more like this would be a battery and perhaps an aggravated battery potentially, but at least a battery. And since the child, perhaps it seems like the child was in view of this, it seems like there may even be a cruelty to children due to the child seeming like he or she may have been present. So I apologize. I know I asked for a $3,000 bond, but I would ask to amend that to a $6,000 surety bond and a third-party transfer. I don't believe I asked for that. I didn't know there were children involved, so I would ask for a third-party transfer as well. Thank you.
Your Honor, currently, only thing we have is reckless driving. I don't understand why we have to deal with all those. There was no evidence that 19-month-old was together at that incident. I just don't understand why we have to add on other things at this point. I think we only consider what we have in this warrant, Your Honor. He was born in California, but he's been here for 29 years. He is gainfully employed. He has to take care of 19-month-old. He's the sole provider for them. So that's all, Your Honor.
And I was trying to see if Miss Follette had gotten her camera versus her
I think I've said it.
microphone working. Yes. Miss Follette?
Hello?
Yes. Do you wish to address the court today?
No.
Okay. All right. You can mute yourself. Thank you. All right. I'm going to order the $3,000 $3,000 signature bond. And with that signature bond, and I guess it'll be through the jail. I'm going to order no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, while our guns while on bond. And I guess that's all I will order at this time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So will the charge just remain as a reckless driving?
Seems like it.
Yes, Your Honor. Are you not ordering the no contact and the third party transfer?
I'll order no further contact with the victim in this case. But I'm not going to get into the third party transfer.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Santillan, I understand you want to speak to the judge, but unless it is directly related to the bond, please call me. I'll be happy to talk to you. You have a right to remain silent.
Do you have a question about the bond conditions?
Please do not say anything about the facts of the case.
What's your question, Mr. Centillion?
We live together.
Please.
We live in a single home, so I don't know how no contact is gonna work.
You have to go live somewhere else while you're on bond?
Please give me a call. I'll explain more to you.
And I guess, did I also say, Ms. Bridgewater, or did I say there was a stay away?
No, ma'am, you didn't.
Oh, well, maybe that'll clear it up. There hasn't been the ample period this just happened. So stay away from 741 Carter Street, Southwest, and no further contact with the victim, Meredith Joy. I'm not for sure what was going on or why you were doing such acts. that could put someone's life in danger.
Your Honor, we would like to request for if on-time law enforcement officer escorted visit to the place to retrieve personal belongings. And if she moves out, maybe my client can return to that place since this is his place.
Well, I don't have any evidence right now if she's moving out. Miss Follette, are you getting ready to move out?
I'm still looking into that. I am not sure at the moment.
But you are residing there right now, correct?
I am staying with a friend.
I usually don't let people talk to me that I can't see. So my question is, are you residing at 741 Carter Street? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. Last question. Do you still have personal belongings at 741 Carter Street?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So here's what I'll do. And I'm sorry, Ms. Bridgewater, Mr. Santillan cannot reside at the 741 Carter Street until all of the personal belongings for Ms. Follette are out of the home. He can take that one-time police escort back to get his personal belongings, or he can wait till he somehow finds out, because he's supposed to have no contact with her, no further contact, that maybe she's not there, and try to see if when he goes back with the officer that they can determine that she has no belongings there, then he can stay. But if her belongings are still there, whether she's sleeping there every night or not, he is not supposed to be there and should not go there. All right.
I want to put this to a record that she was not sworn in, and at the same time, we did not have her face.
I
I just want to
understand.
put it on record. Thanks.
All right. I think that's it for this case. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond.
Your Honor, before we do the breakout session, can we waive position 5, Ms. Dickish, Ms. Dillard?
And you're saying, can we waive?
Yes, she having medical problems right now, and she really need to go to medical or
That'll be up to her attorney. They're gonna get me a waiver or not.
she's in.
Miss Dillard, do you want to waive being here for the rest of the time and me talk to the judge, or do you want to be present?
I want to be present. I gotta take a quarter shot tomorrow, so I want to get out of here. But I go, they give me none of my medicine, so I want.
She gonna represent you?
You want to be able to leave?
I want to lay down bed. I can wait.
You want to wait?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Can we take her case next, Deputy?
Yes.
Okay.
It was in the breakout session, so
Okay. So is that it for you?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So we can either go into breakout. I do have who is Kirby Rooks? What case are you here for?
I'm here.
Your Honor, it must be my client, Mr. Rooks, that I requested for a breakout room.
Yes, Your Honor, he's here for position number 11, Gregory Rooks.
Judge, we can't hear you.
I can't hear you either, Your Honor.
Me either, Your Honor.
Judge, you lost sound.
What?
Mr. Rooks, we don't need you at this moment. You can just wait until we need you a little later on, okay? Thank you.
Yeah, Judge, it appears that you're from.
Judge, you're muted. If you're speaking to us, we can't hear you.
It looks like you're signed in actually on two devices, from my view, Your Honor.
Yes, the judge is having difficulty getting on, so she's trying various devices to get on. So just bear with us just a moment. Okay, I see it's nice. But no, you're.
Gonna unmute this one. It's a terrible echo. Hold on.
Okay, we can hear you, but we can't see.
All right, so then I have another device with my video. Can you all see me on the second device?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I think I'm talking through one and visually through the other. Something is going crazy here. All right, we're getting ready to go into breakout.
Yes, ma'am. Are all the cases going to be heard in the same breakout?
Yes. And then we can put in the Brooks family when we do their case. But do I have anybody else on besides them?
I don't think so.
Everybody else are employees? Because
Yes.
we could stop the live stream if we're afraid of losing me if we go into a breakout.
Okay, I can stop the live stream.
Okay.